Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Joseph James, schooltrade.com, sidewaysmarkets.com. It's Tuesday morning, November 9th, 2010. We are almost through our second week of the month here, guys. Tuesday morning, 9th of November. Another big day in our live trade room. Welcome to your live trade recap. Before we took the trade we took today, guys, we took about 10 trades today. Before we talk about those trades, though, I want to remind you guys about our blog. Now, on the blog right now, above me, right above me on this blog, you'll see the Beginner's Corner. Right, lots of great beginner stuff there. You've got trade room resources. A lot of questions answered under that trade room resources section, guys. So right above me, click on trade room resources. And then don't forget, we've recorded all of our webinars. And the webinars are posted above me as well under tutorials and live webinars. Right, guys? So webinars, trade room resources, and Beginner's Corner. Right above me here, guys. Get to know this blog. Right, this blog has a search box on it. You've got live support there, 24/7 live support. You've got the YouTube page, Facebook page. Don't forget, guys, you can also sign up at the bottom for our newsletter, or you can follow the blog by clicking on Follow Me. All right, guys, great day in the room today. Great day in the room today. Let's see, we did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 total trades. Couple on crude, couple on gold. The gold, though, today, guys, boy, the gold made us over 200 ticks of profit today, guys, on gold on 4 contracts. If you were with us this morning, guys, what a great day. We got the day started off by selling the highs. We then bought the lows coming back up, and we sold the highs again, right? So we really were playing at these highs on gold. We noticed this morning the gold was at the highs. We started off by selling those highs. Took that loss on crude, trying to sell the highs on crude. The second swing on crude, though, we made our money, though. So we actually gave back 16 ticks on the crude for the first swing. Second swing came about an hour and a half later. The second trade, though, on crude was the winner today on crude. So gold and crude today, 12 trades, 221 ticks, guys. Weekly total now, $29.90. So we've made 78 ticks yesterday, 220 ticks today, $10 per tick, guys. We've now made almost $3,000 this week alone. Now look, we made $9,000 last week, so now we've got over $12,000, right? $3,000 this week, $9,000 last week. We have over $12,000 this month alone. 4 contracts. We've got, 7 trading days. And we've already made 12 grand in, guys, only 4 contracts, right? That's the big thing. This does not require a large account to do this. We've got 3 full weeks left, guys, and we've got over 196,000 for the year so far. I want to hit $200,000, and I also want to get us up to about 25,000 this month at the end of the month. All right, guys, good day today, good day. So what's the most important thing that happened? What do we see? Well, the dollar told us very early, be ready for potentially a pretty good day. Okay, dollar was moving. It gave us a nice heads up. Get ready for a good day. We also saw gold at the highs. Now, crude was also at the highs, but crude made it a little bit more difficult for me to sell those highs. Gold made it real easy, though. We were up 79 ticks of profit, about 80 ticks of profit before 9:30 this morning. So we really had an easy job this morning. The first couple trades on gold were nice and easy. Yeah, the crude took some money back from me, but I got the money back at the end of the morning, though, on crude, so we'll talk more about that. And it's, of course, right, we continued. Once we sold the highs on crude and sold the highs on gold, we then bought the lows, right? We bought support, took our profit at the highs, sold the highs, brought it right back down, right? And that earned us over 250 ticks today, guys, on only 4 contracts, gold and crude. Now, as you guys know, we start our day off every morning in the dollar. The dollar told us, be ready for a pretty busy day today. Now, what did you see here, right? Why did this tell us be ready for a busy day? Well, first of all, remember, guys, look at the range from yesterday, right? There's my range from yesterday. And then here's my range today. So what do you see that happen? Well, of course, first of all, we can see we have an outside day, right? We broke above, and then we came right back down in. Now, there's a couple ways to look at this. Okay, the first thing is, of course, it's now an inside day. So an inside day doesn't look, right? It's not the best thing we want to see. I'd rather see us above the highs, below the lows from yesterday. So an inside day, that was the one concern we had. But you'll notice we've got a trending market, right? This is a moving market. This thing is moving. We also noticed that the ATR was relatively good and the speed was relatively good. So we had a wide trading range. Okay, as you can see, the range at 8 o'clock this morning was almost as wide as the range all day yesterday and all day on Friday. So we had a wide trading range. We had a moving market. ATR was decent. Speed was decent. This told us right? Look out, this market might be a mover today for us. The only concern we had in the dollar was it was an inside day. But because we pushed those highs, then came right back down, right? That obviously tells us it's a moving market. When the dollar's moving, everything else is moving too. So right off the bat, dollar tells us be ready for some action this morning. Now, of course, we took our first couple trades on gold, but let's start out with crude first. Okay, crude actually came in later on in the morning, but we'll start out first on crude. Here's your sideways range. Right, very easy here. We have this channel high. There's your channel low. So as you can see, we're kind of right in the middle of the channel. But as you can notice, though, we're at the highs of this sideways range. Right, at the highs here of the range. So what are we going to do? You guessed it, I'm going to sell these highs. So what I did was I waited for price to break below 43, and I sold the highs on the crude. Now, the first time I did this, it was a 16-tick loss. We'll show you guys more on that in a moment. But the second time I took it, though, it was a 29-tick winner. So we did end up making some money on crude today. It took me 2 trades to do it, and here's what it looked like. Open up your 13 range on crude here. Here's my 13 range chart. So my 13 range chart, this is going to be similar to, well, you get a 13 range, similar to a 3-minute, right, 5-minute, somewhere around there. But as you can see here, we drew a wedge. Here's my wedge. I've got my wedge high, right? Wedge high. There's my wedge low. So of course, with this sideways range, and the sideways range was like this, right? There was your sideways range. So now, of course, inside of this sideways range, we're going to test the highs, right? We come up, we test the highs, mark up my swing low, and of course, once I break below that swing low, there's your 2-step pattern short. Now I got short here below 21s, and what happened was I got a little bit of profit there, and it went right against me there and went right back up. And by the time I noticed down bottom here, momentum had curled up off these lows. I was already in too deep here, was out -4 times 4, -16. So I give up 16 ticks there, guys, looking to sell these highs, right? Selling the highs, that was the first one. Now the second one now, right, we chop around a little bit here. We go back up. We retest the highs again, right? Retest the highs. You'll notice we've got lower highs here, right? Lower highs here. We notice there's our swing low, break below that swing low, and there's your 2-step pattern short. Again, same pattern, except this time, an hour and 25 minutes later, 2 off at 5 is 10, plus 10 is 20, plus 9 is 29. All right, guys, so of course, we give back 16, we make 29, right? So of course, in the day here, guys, right, 16 plus, or 29 minus 16, we've got ourselves that, what's that, 4 to 20, plus 9, 13 ticks. So 130 bucks there on the crude, just by simply knowing when to sell those highs. All right, and you can see here, the first trade of the day on crude here at 910 could have easily been avoided by simply following those rules and not getting involved with momentum oversold. You can tell here, guys, in the crude, that first trade, momentum was oversold, right? Not looking so good. The second trade around, though, looked a lot better. Looked a lot better. So, selling the highs on crude, first trade was a loss, second trade was a win. But, guys, the big story today, that was gold. Gold was not looking anything like crude, right? Crude was going sideways. Here on gold, we define this upward sloping channel, right? So there's my channel, and what do you see? We're at the top of the channel. We're also at the top of this sideways range, right? There would be your sideways range. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to sell these highs, right? Sell these highs. In fact, that was the level right there below 17s. It was actually below 14, 17. We sold short below 17. Now look what happens here. We have this trigger line here at 14.